this is gonna be a great game. I don't care what it is, but it's gonna be. So I mean, they do have track records, and there are other development companies that you really don't even know. I mean, they come out with mediocre games. They're making some money, but you never really hear about them. So I mean, there are good companies out there. That,
and you know, in all fairness, at the end of the day, it is business. You know, and I mean, it does come to pretty much anything comes down to the dollar signs. You know, unfortunately, but. You know, let's see. Are there any developers that you look up to?
I mean, there are a few that I've talked to, and you know, you really get. I mean, you have some pretty good conversations. Like they've been helping us out. It's pretty much just any developer that makes quality games that you really just when Gears of War won Game of the Year, and you know I think Unreal Tournament 3 just came out, or it's coming out soon. But like, it's kind of like games like that or companies like that where you know they're gonna come out with a great game. Right. It's kind of like, I mean they do have budget issues. Obviously, you have to make it under budget, but I mean, there's some high quality games out there still.
So, what do you think about like tomorrow? You know, Jason Rubin's coming on the show, and he's actually one of those developers that has publicized sort of, you know, the game developers need to take more credit. They need to, promote themselves more because these are the guys that are putting their hearts and souls into the game, and maybe. It's sort of overshadowed. Like, what do you think about that concept? I mean, sort of like how Cliffy is in a way.
Yeah, I mean, publishers are more kind of like the guys in charge. I mean, they have all the money for the most part, and so it's really hard from a development standpoint to work. Not with all publishers, but some where, I mean, they might hold milestones back or payment, and it's difficult to work with. I mean, there are games. I mean, from a standpoint, I mean, designers kind of want to make great games, but engineers have to kind of keep them on the ground. But like, you want to make great games, and I mean, there's plenty of. I mean, even like an existing IP or new IP, there's still plenty to do.
But do you think that like the developers need to sort of like step out of the limelight just a little bit? Like I guess to put it in perspective, like the way that George Lucas or Spielberg is, or a lot of the movie directors are sort of like. This guy has a personality, and I know that his game shares this personality, or Kojima, or Miyamoto, or Rubin basically said, we don't get as much credit as like we should, or we are sort of overshadowed by everything. Like,
yeah, I mean that does happen with a lot of developers. I mean, any game they see come out, you see mainly the publisher logo. Like this is published by, EA or 2K, whoever it is.
Right.
Like when BioShock came out, I knew it was published by 2K, but I didn't even know who developed it.
Right.
Watching the commercials, you don't hear that. So yeah, I mean, publishers do need to take more credit. I mean, or developers need to take more credit because, I mean, publishers do a lot of work. I mean, they have to do marketing. It's a huge risk for them. But from a developer standpoint, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of games that come out where I have to, Google it or just try to find like who actually made this game.
Exactly.
I think there's an anomaly there, though, because you have someone like, Cliffy B and Jade Raymond, who you definitely hear associated with the game right away. Like, how do you guys think that happens?
I honestly have no idea because I've met other developers who have had just as much personality as those individuals, just as much passion about what they're doing, but maybe they just never got out there, or I don't know. It's a good question.
Good track record is key.
Yeah, track record is key, I guess.
You have to make a name for yourself. I mean, big movie stars when they first started, I mean, they didn't have anything really associated with. But now you see, I mean, even games coming out, with like Sid Meier. I mean, every game that comes out now, I mean, his name's on there.
That's true. He does show up. It's like Sid Meier's Civilization all the time.
Yeah. And so, I mean, yeah, you really have to build a track record. Because, like, when we release End, I mean, it's not going to say, like, Michael Bihn's End or anything like that. I mean, I really don't. I mean, it does help sell the game when you have put the name with it, but I've never really seen. I really don't want my name on there. I guess like
fair enough. So there's actually maybe a group of folks that's just like, hey, I just want to make great games.
Yeah, I mean, like we want like the company logo on there and like the game logo. Like, I really don't. I mean, it isn't really a one-person game. Because even though I mean, yeah, I did create the storyline and the gameplay. But I mean, everyone who's come on the project has contributed in some way outside. When we brought George on, or even like the storyboard artist, we're sending them the script, to do some stuff, and like they'll write me back. We're like, I really like this part, but I don't really understand why this happens. And they'll send ideas and change it. So, you know, I did do the initial writing and designing, but I'm not the only one who's ever put any kind of effort into this.
Give credit where credit is due. All right. We're getting close to time here, so I'm going to fire off just a few more questions. Of course, Suma helping. Thank you. We'll do it. I'm missing my sheet. That's why.
Oh, for what?
Yeah, it's right down here. Sorry about that. So we have, I had to blow a kiss to Jason, sorry. Suma helped me out with some of the questions today. Of course, he put this on here because I'm pretty sure it's like the question he asks everyone when he meets them. Hi, my name's Suma. What's your favorite system? And if you don't say 360, I'm going to try to crush your hair. Or PS3, I'm going to crush your hair. No, just kidding.
I mean, it's really difficult to answer that because, I mean, I want to say like the original Nintendo, but I mean, that was 8-bit. I mean, there's definitely new systems like, I mean, I had the GameCube for a long time, or different like Atari systems, or even now, I just have a 360, but looking at the like the PS3, even PC, I mean, it's really hard to pick one. And I know if I don't say PS3, you're probably going to like kick my ass in the parking lot.
No, I won't.
I mean, right now, I mean, I guess I have to answer the 360, but that's only based on because that's the only console I actually own right now.
Right.
I played the PS3 and Wii, but I haven't had, I mean, I've gone to friends' house and played, but I don't actually have one yet at my place.
Soon. I'll give you a complimentary one on your way out the door. No, I'm just kidding. Michael, thank you very much for coming on the program. I think from all of us here at EG and from the guys, I personally am, I'm inspired by guys that take, their life and their dreams into their own hand and run with it. So guys, here's another great example. Cliffy talked about it when he was on the show, is that, sometimes you just need to like dive in head first and find out what the industry is all about and what goes into it. So, hopefully at least Michael explained some of the things that you may have at one point had questions about, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing that with us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, when your game blows up and sells a billion copies, you're going to have to come back on and be like, yeah, this is where I had, first major interview. And
That's
right.
Right? Epileptic
yeah,
gaming.
This is our first actual interview besides just, typing it up.
So when this blows up, guys, you'll be like, holy shit, I was there. Yeah, so awesome. Well, we appreciate it. And thank you. Don't forget, tomorrow we have Jason Rubin on. And real quickly, guys, I completely forgot, and it was Tyler who came to the rescue. Call of Duty 4 tournaments. You play multiplayer online?
Yeah.
You got it. It's the bomb. Well, our guys have been screaming about tournaments. So Call of Duty 4 tournaments, here it is, the information. Okay, first off, the PC tournament. It's a 1 versus 1 ladder. It will last from November 16th to December 16th. You can go to ggl.com. There's a link on the front page. The prizes are actually only for first place, but hold on, don't groan yet, okay? So first place on the ladder at the end of December 16th, you get a 24-inch widescreen monitor by Samsung. You get a Logitech Digital 5.1 sound system and a Logitech MX Revolution. So not too bad there for just free entry. There's also an Xbox and PS3 tournament that are exactly identical. So it's going to be the top 64 teams on the real ladder on January 13th will advance to a bracket, and first place in the bracket wins. Now this one is 4 versus 4, guys. So we want to get some teams together and we want to get you guys entered. You can go to COD4 or COD4.ggl.com. It should be live as of right now. The practice ladder starts November 20th. That's Friday. And the real ladder begins December 10th. It will go through the 13th, and then the bracket will be the 15th to the 3rd, okay? Now, here's what you're going to get. Everyone on the team, a 32-inch Westinghouse LCD HDTV, a 5.1 sound system to go with that, and you get future weapons on DVD.
That's a great show.
That's for the 360. But you know what? On the PS3, you got to get a Blu-ray, bro, because that's Blu-ray is where it's at, right? You get Black Hawk Down instead of future weapons. So
I love it.
One thing I'm throwing on top of this, guys, is that any team that signs up as EG, all right, and I'll let you guys like fight amongst players among yourself, but consider this: EG Alpha, Beta, Omega, Gamma, etc. Any EG team that places in the top 5, I will award an additional prize to for seeing you guys represent your gaming skills for Epileptic Gaming. Is that good, Cameron?
That's pretty awesome.
You like that? So top 5, because only first place wins. So top 5, Daddy Wheat's going to hook you up with something else. We're done. Michael, thank you so much. Faramix.com, F-A-R-A-M-I-X.
Yes.
There you go. Yes. Faramix. Check it out, and we'll be keeping tabs on you for sure. So I want to thank Tyler. We got to wrap up real quick because I went over the time. Thank you, Tyler, and for keeping all those mutants on Stick'em crazy or under control. We got Camera.
Peace out.
Peace out, and thank you once again, Michael. Thank you, Sumer, for setting up our interview, and join us tomorrow as Jason Rubik comes on, and we will discuss his history on games and what his life is like now kind of being outside of development. So I'm DJ Wheat, world's loudest human, and we'll be back tomorrow for more Epileptic Gaming. It's week 140. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.